Reported statements. Picture an office where everybody likes to gossip, especially Gary. Gary spreads a lot of rumors. His first rumor today is, the boss is mad at Tina. When his coworkers report what Gary said, they say, Gary said the boss was mad at Tina. Here's another one from Gary. Steve likes Jennifer. Gary told me that Steve liked Jennifer. Tina came late to work. Gary told me Tina had come late to work. The boss will fire Steve tomorrow. Gary said that the boss would fire Steve tomorrow. The situation we have here is Gary is telling these statements directly to someone who then later reports what Gary said to another person. Here are Gary's original statements. And here is how they are reported. The first thing you should notice is that we need to use reporting verbs said or told. This is very similar to reported requests in the previous video. When I'm using told, remember you need to identify the object. Gary told me, but never use the object after said. The next thing that you might notice is that I'm using the word that. And this word is completely optional, as it so often is in many clauses. In fact, I could use that in the other sentences if I want, or eliminate them. It's completely optional. Now look at the verb in the original message, is. And notice how it's been transformed in reported statements. Is becomes was. Likes. Liked. Came, had come, will, would. Let's look a little closer at the structure here. So what's happening here is my original statement on the left is then transformed. I need to start with Gary said or Gary told me that, which is optional. And then I say the statement, but in a past form. So notice how the verb shifts to the past. Is, which is the verb to be in the present, becomes was. So the first thing is the present simple, here the verb to be, becomes the past simple. How about an example in the negative? Tina and the boss aren't friends. Gary said Tina and the boss weren't friends. The same rule applies to any other verb in the present simple. For example, likes becomes liked. So again, the present simple becomes the past simple. Here's an example in the negative. Remember, doesn't and don't in the present are didn't in the past. Jennifer didn't know. What happens when I already have a verb in the past? Tina came late to work. This verb is in the past, and on the right, it becomes the past perfect, which is had as an auxiliary plus the past participle. Gary said that Tina had come late to work. Here's an example in the negative. Didn't arrive. Gary told me Tina hadn't arrived on time. There is another verb form that becomes the past perfect. Here's an example. Tina has been sick recently. Gary said that Tina had been sick recently. This is the present perfect, and it becomes the past perfect in reported statements. So both the past simple and the present perfect are reported as the past perfect. Here's a negative example. Hasn't becomes hadn't. Now, in my example with the future with will, you'll notice that will transforms to would, and the same can be said for the negative. Won't becomes wouldn't. Will is a modal, and there are other modals that have these rules. Can becomes could, and may becomes might in reported speech. So now we're going to try the activity on page 107, activity A. Pause the video now and try the activity, then resume playing and check your answers. Okay, let's check the answers. Notice these are possible answers because you can use said or told. report